the station working for you. This is WRTV News at 11, streaming now.
My wife made more of an impact on society and others far more than I realized.
Tonight, a familiar face shares a heartbreaking story that too many families are familiar with.
Almost 6,000 Hoosiers have died from COVID-19 since the pandemic began, including Audrey Beckley, who was married to former WRTV anchor and reporter Ken Beckley for nearly 56 years. Tonight, Ken is helping us show that the toll of COVID-19 is much more than numbers. He is sharing his story of grief and loss and his wife's last days with our Cornelius Hawker.
Well, we had so many plans. I mean, we hoped to stay here in this house for a lot of years. We wanted to do a lot of international travel. We look forward to the day that grandchildren married. We look forward to watching our great-grandchildren grow and to be around them. So we had so many plans.
Ken Beckley's plans with his wife Audrey were cut short in August when she died because of COVID-19.
We were following every health recommendation by national public health officials. Very, very careful about washing hands and sanitizing and distancing and always wearing masks.
In the days before she tested positive for the virus, Audrey started having trouble with her legs.
I heard a thud in our bedroom, and what had happened, she had gotten out of bed, took a step, but her legs really wouldn't move, and she fell against a chest of drawers, and I found her clinging to that.
Ken tells me he struggled to get her in bed and then called 911. That was on a Monday morning. Audrey was out of the hospital that afternoon. By Tuesday night, Audrey was fine, but he started experiencing typical COVID-19 symptoms.
I started chilling, had body aches, headache, and then that went away the next afternoon.
By Thursday, Audrey was in the hospital again. And on Sunday,
her lungs they really had gotten filled with a lot of pneumonia, but they just weren't producing their own oxygen.
In her last few days, Audrey was able to join Ken and their children for a rib dinner.
We have this wonderful picture of her with her ribs and baked potato and so forth.
And made sure her son enjoyed his birthday.
As all mothers are, despite how sick they are, she said, she texted and said, "Now be sure to fix such and such for Greg for his birthday." And this is on Monday, and later that afternoon, she sent a selfie, and her trying to smile with a little oxygen tube, running the side of her face.
Audrey told her husband doctors said they were pleased with her progress. They texted again about the dinner Audrey had eaten, and that was their last conversation.
At 3 a.m., I got the call that things had just turned like that, and she was not going to make it. But a wonderful nurse held Audrey's cell phone for me 3 times that day for me to talk to Audrey and to tell her everything that you would want to tell your spouse as he or she were dying. I also told her that I would be fine and the kids would be fine, and not to just hang on out of fear that we wouldn't be.
As Ken walked us through the home he shared with Audrey, showing us all sorts of memories, telling stories about their rich life that was cut short, I asked him to address those who aren't taking COVID-19 seriously.
The maskless of America have an opportunity to really help bring down this pandemic. Those that refuse to mask and follow the other health precautions, just the 3 primary ones, are among the most selfish people ever to have lived. This is a pandemic, for God's sake.
That was Cornelius Hawker reporting. Audrey Jane Beckley died on August 19th, and like a lot of Hoosiers, she had a pre-existing condition, MS, but had lived with it for 50 years and did not let it stop her from living a full life. She was in the hospital for less than a week. While this story is sad, we know it is not unique as the pandemic continues to claim lives. We here at WRTV are making an effort to tell you the stories of the people behind those numbers.
And our thoughts certainly are with Ken and his family tonight. Today, the State Department of Health reported 42 additional COVID-19 deaths in Indiana. 3,214 COVID patients are being treated in hospitals across the state, according to the latest update. 5,700 new positive cases were reported between November 18th and yesterday. The 7-day positivity rate among unique individuals is 27.2%.
The Marion County Coroner's Office is getting additional funding. Tonight, the City County Council unanimously approved an additional $275,000 to the coroner's 2020 budget. The money will help pay for extra staff and personal protective equipment. The pandemic is contributing to an overwhelming workload for the Marion County Coroner's Office. Last week, Chief Deputy Coroner Alfie McGinty told WRTV investigators are used to handling about 150 cases through this time of year. Most are at more than 350 already.
You cannot conduct that many investigations and there not be errors. And we are not able to keep up with serving the community, with providing autopsy reports and death certificates and those kind of things. And so, it causes a backlog.
McGinty says in addition to COVID-19 deaths, the coroner's office is dealing with significant increase in cases across the board, including homicides, overdoses, suicides, and natural deaths.
Also at tonight's council meeting, a plan to create a massive message of support for IMPD. 3 Republican councilors introduced a proposal to paint Back the Blue on Shelby Street. The writing will be similar to the Black Lives Matter mural painted in August on Indiana Avenue. The new proposal will be discussed during the Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee meeting on Wednesday night.
A $3 million project is expected to make travel by bus, car, or any vehicle faster and safer. WRTV's Cameron Riddle explains the concept of super bus stops and how they can ease traffic congestion.
Indigo is reimagining transportation along Delaware Street downtown with the creation of new bus stops called super stops.
The super stops themselves will be 90-foot-long platforms to accommodate 2 buses at a time, 9 inches high to make the getting on and off the bus easier.
The super stops concept is based off Chicago's Loop Link with a mix of ideas and lessons learned from Indigo's Red Line. Delaware Street is being completely torn apart and rebuilt, and when reconstruction is complete, 2 super stops will sit at Delaware and New York Streets and at Delaware and North Streets, while part of Fort Wayne Avenue is converted from a one-way to a 2-way street. Austin Gibble is the project manager. He says there's just too much traffic and a redesign will be better for all vehicles that share the congested road.
Traffic trying to weave in and out of that right-hand lane to get around buses because they're there a lot. And then processes that it's just a slow and unpleasant experience to ride the bus on those streets because it's so busy.
The project will also bring those familiar red-painted bus-only lanes to Delaware Street while still allowing traffic to turn right. One super stop will eliminate a handful of parking spaces, while the other will take up space once used by the electric Blue Indy cars.
In terms of creating a more seamless experience with flow, I think that the experience of riding with these super stops is going to greatly increase my bus experience going through downtown.
Jeffrey Tompkins is an avid bus rider. In fact, he takes the bus every chance he gets. He says since moving to Indianapolis from transit-rich Northwest Indiana in 2011, he's already noticed a vast improvement in the city's bus system, which is a deciding factor in where he lives and works.
Just in terms of that small amount of time that's passed, it's been a huge increase in quality of life because that access to bus is there.
Cameron Riddle, WRTV.
Construction on Delaware Street and the super stops is set to start early next year. The $3 million project should be done by the end of 2021.
A proposal to put a gravel pit in a Noblesville park appears to be off the table. Tonight, the city tweeted a message saying Beaver Materials formally withdrew its petition regarding a change of zoning request. We spoke to residents against the plan for Potter's Bridge Park back in October. They started a website called Don't Leave It to Beaver, outlining their health, safety, and ecological concerns surrounding the possible project. Officials with the company told WRTV they follow all safety and health guidelines and are heavily regulated by the federal government. The city says Beaver Materials can refile the petition in 2021.
Local shelters and organizations for people experiencing homelessness say the need right now is at an all-time high. Leaders with Wheeler Mission say they have provided beds for more than 1,000 people in central Indiana for the past few nights. Between record numbers and social distancing guidelines, the shelters are quickly filling up. So Wheeler Mission has teamed up with the city to provide overflow space at local hotels. They say the community continues to support them and their work through donations as well. But Wheeler expects the need for shelter to increase in the coming weeks.
So I think we can expect those numbers to rise. Typically, we do not see our highest numbers at Wheeler until we're about January. So we have a couple weeks to go. And I am concerned about the capacity to meet those needs when that comes.
If you would like to donate to Wheeler Mission, we'll have a link set up in this story on our website at WRTV.com. And the need to help Hoosiers put food on the table is also greater than ever. Gleaners Food Bank is asking for assistance, keeping up with the demand. The organization is putting a call out for volunteers. Multiple spots need to be filled this month. Volunteers would help with drive-through distribution. For more information, go to WRTV.com. Kevin.
Don't get too excited. This is not your Tuesday high temperature, but you won't have to wait that long. We'll talk about our warm-up coming up.
If you use your fireplace, remove the stockings from the fireplace before you use it.
And a little later, how to avoid hidden holiday hazards.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 11, streaming now.
New tools, training, and initiatives are coming to several Indianapolis agencies and departments. The Indy Autism Project aims to put Central Indiana on the map as a place for people on the autism spectrum to safely live, work, play, and visit. The project was announced today by City County Councilor Allie Brown and other city leaders. Law enforcement officers, Indigo bus drivers, Indy Parks, and other city employees will undergo training to better understand individuals with autism. The city's hospitality and tourism industry will also work to make events more sensory friendly.
I look at this project as a way to lead with kindness, and that's who our city is. We are a kind city who gives grace, and that's what this does, is we look at people and celebrate the differences.
The Indy Autism Project is being funded entirely by donations, including a large contribution from the Autism Society of Indiana.
Santa is making some changes this year to keep kids and himself safe this Christmas season. Prepare for social distancing measures if you plan on visiting him. One thing that will not change at the Children's Museum of Indianapolis is making sure Santa reflects the families in our community. The museum makes a special effort to include a diverse group of Santas.
Black Santa is very important because we want to celebrate the diversity of our visitation, and everyone wants to see, you want to see yourself when you come in the museum.
You can search the Children's Museum website for a list of certified Santas and when they're scheduled.
Now we want to share some good news from our extended WRTV family. Take a look at this.
Treatments are done, this course is run, and I am on my way. Okay.
A very happy moment, and many of you may recognize that gentleman. It's Bob Gregory, Kevin's dad. And Kevin, we're so happy for your family and for your dad. That was such a happy moment for you guys, and very special too. Quite the journey.
Well, thank you. And any family that's been touched by cancer knows that rite of passage, ringing the bell at the end of a chemotherapy regimen. So my father was diagnosed with lymphoma in the summer and completed his program today. The doctor is predicting this time, saying he should make a full recovery. So very blessed. Outside, cold, dry. temperatures will get warmer. That's the good news as we move along this week. May not happen as quickly as you'd like, but it will happen. 32, that's the temperature in Kokomo. The fact that we have the cloud cover, that's kept our temperature from changing much. If you were with us this evening, we were around 34 degrees, 5 to 6 o'clock this evening. Warmest day ahead, that 56 that I showed you, should land on Friday. Rain around Saturday, very windy as a strong cold front allows much colder air to sweep in for the second half of the weekend and early next week. Maybe cold enough for snow showers and some flurries early Sunday. Temperatures tomorrow morning. Cold. These are the coldest low temperatures that we'll have probably until next Sunday or Monday. Most of the week we'll spend in the 30s for lows. Tomorrow, 41. A nice step into the upper 40s to maybe 50 on Wednesday. As we get to Thursday, a mixture of clouds and sunshine and 53 degrees. Tomorrow, the battle between clouds and sunshine continues. I think we'll see more sunshine, at least some peaks of sunshine in the morning and early afternoon, and then you see the gray of the clouds filling back in the afternoon. That definitely impacts the temperature. Sunshine is key to warming up. 43 in Terre Haute and Bloomington for the afternoon high tomorrow. 41 is our average high, by the way. Wednesday, more sunshine, a little warmer temperatures, upper 40s, close to 50. If 50 is the goal, we're there Thursday. 53, mixture of clouds and sunshine, warmest day Friday. We begin the transition to much cooler weather Saturday. Low pressure will wind up just to our west, draw in warmer air Friday and early Saturday before temperatures fall. The blue you see, portions of Iowa, Kansas, and northwest Missouri. The snow, we'll see some flurries or snow showers possible early Sunday. There are the falling temperatures from Saturday morning into Sunday morning. 7-day forecast, just be patient, we'll get there. Temperatures in the 50s Thursday, Friday, and early Saturday. The warmer it feels, though, to end the work week and begin the weekend, the colder it will feel as we get to Sunday and Monday. Some comfort and some cold, all in one map.
A mix of it all. Thank you, Kevin. COVID-19 is creating new safety concerns this holiday season, but as Scripps reporter Stephanie Stone explains, this time of year always comes with some hidden dangers.
Injuries are the leading cause of death and serious injury for kids under 14.
In her 20 years at CHOC, a pediatric healthcare system in Orange County, California, Amy Frias has made it her mission to keep kids out of the hospital. She wears a lot of hats, helping families with everything from CPR courses to car seats and helmet safety.
It's all about prevention. It's all about setting people up so that kids aren't seriously injured or hurt.
This holiday season, she says, we all need all the joy and happiness we can get, but she advises caution about seasonal decor, especially if you've got young kids.
Things like keeping breakable ornaments up high on your tree, or maybe not having any breakable ornaments on your tree, and making sure that none of your lights are frayed and everything is in good working condition.
Also, make sure you're considering age-appropriate gifts. Be wary of toys with button cell batteries. Make sure kids can't access those compartments. And then there's the plants.
Mistletoe or holly berries. Those are two items that are actually extremely poisonous.
And stockings.
Hanging your stockings from your fireplace, but if you use your fireplace, remove the stockings from the fireplace before you use it. And keep in mind that the glass on a fireplace is one of the hottest areas in your home, and a young child with thin skin that touches it could have a third-degree burn in seconds.
Speaking of stockings, if you're planning a trip to see the big guy, doctors say do it while keeping COVID precautions in mind.
My kids wanted to go see Santa Claus, and the first thing I said, okay, I want to see what type of protective barrier they have, what are they implementing, and it was very interesting that Santa was 6 foot away, and on the sleigh, he was sitting in the back of the sleigh, and they had a plexiglass. separating the kids from Santa Claus.
Dr. Nikhil Bayani is an infectious disease specialist for a large healthcare group in North Texas. Right now, he says his clinic is full of COVID patients.
As a provider, I would say, okay, you know what? I would encourage you to stay at home as much as possible, just because we are in the middle of another surge. Hospitalizations are going up, cases are going up.